and said more promises are underway. He talked about buses in all the federal tertiary institutions to make it easy, to make it easy for students to get by. He talked about money's 1 billion naira for 1 billion naira for 75 businesses. I'm trying to look for where I wrote those things down. I jotted those things down earlier. He said that he's going to give 1 billion for 75 businesses. He talked about food grain and fertilizers and all that to farmers, to ensure that there is enough food in circulation. Of course, I already mentioned, he talked about the 1 trillion naira saved since the subsidy removal. He also talked about donations or loans. I mean, not donations, that would be wrong. I'll be misleading you. He talked about loans for small, medium enterprises. He explained why he had to remove subsidy, as it was, only a few people benefiting from it, and he had to unify the foreign exchange because, yet again, only a few people were benefiting from it. And he said he was going to intervene if it gets too burdensome, too cumbersome. For instance, if the international price of oil gets too burdensome, he will intervene. And he said Nigerians should be patient. Nigerians should go through these moments and see it as a moment of sacrifice, because the darkness will soon become the morning, the dawn. So he said it, no my words. He said he's working with the state and local governments to implement interventions that will cushion the pains of the people across socio-economic brackets. So he mentioned, I already said 75 billion naira will be going to businesses, 1 billion naira each for 75 businesses. He said 1 million nano businesses will share 50 billion naira. That is like 50,000 naira will go to 1,300 nano businesses across the 774 local government areas. And he talked about 100,000 for medium, for micro, small, medium enterprises and startups. He talked about where is it now? Of course, I already said making sure food items are affordable by engaging the farmers. Talked about 200,000 metric tons of grain from strategic reserves to households across the 36 states and FCT. That's to make sure that they have some kind of control on the process of food items. And then he talked about several other things, right? I'm trying my best to... he talked about minimum wage. He said that the federal government is working with labor. I mean, the same labor is going to go on strike tomorrow, is working with labor to see how they can increase the minimum wage. So civil servants, he said, be patient. We are coming. He also talked about investing 50 billion naira each to cultivate 150,000 hectares of rice and maize. So you got, I know you listened. He also talked about the infrastructure fund that will be controlled by the various state governments. So do you think, there is progress? Do you think, even though for me, it sounds a little bit like what Buhari said, it sounds a little bit like what Goodluck Jonathan did as well. It sounds really familiar. There's a time where Shibajo came out and said we have saved XYZ from subsidy removal in 2016. Remember, Shopi was also supposed to do some of the things that the current president has named. So I do not know. I'm just asking, what's your reaction? However, Labour has reacted to it, and Labour is finding faults. Labour, said, for instance, the oil and gas sector has now gone into a free market. So you cannot control that market, and Labour is insisting that there has to be a reversal of the subsidy removal so that the refineries can be fixed, and then when refineries are fixed, then you can remove it and put all of these interventions that you put in. Labour is insisting that not rich enough. I mean, yeah, promises and promises, government will always make it, but not rich enough. And so Labour is insisting that the strike will hold tomorrow. What do you make of that as well? What do you make of that? And then, like I told you, Punch newspaper revealed, you could just go there, go to Punch newspaper right now if you are using an internet-enabled phone, go to the politics section, and you would see where it is boldly captioned, Bayelsa Campaign Council surprise as Wike Autumn Ikpeazu Ugwanyi make PDP list. Remember, Shaim Makinde is amongst the delegates, amongst the presidential delegate in Benin Republic right now, celebrating independence and all that. So, but what is your take on that? What is your take on the G5 or members of the G5? By the way, they have come out to say explicitly that they supported candidates, and Atiku was not one of them, because of course they were arguing that it had to come to the south. And if you have been following the political scene, you would realize, or you would have heard, that Atiku held some kind of meeting that would determine who would be Ayu's replacement as national chairman of the PDP. So there is still that ongoing battle, because Atiku's camp is saying Saraki, according to reports, while Wike is still, also trying to control the party from where he is right now, the ministerial position he has gotten from the APC government. But to come and see his name in a list, I'm finding it hard to believe. I think maybe, just like we saw during the time where there were speculations about who was going to make the president's ministerial list, maybe this is one of it. Maybe it's just a way to mock. The report is there, but I'm really finding it difficult to accept the report. I don't know about you, and I do not know what you think, but what do you make of that report? I'm going to open the phone lines now, or better still, we'll start with the WhatsApp message, because we've got commercial break coming up in 2 minutes. So the WhatsApp number is 0809 030 6416. All right, that's the WhatsApp number, so you can drop your messages. So better still, you can watch me live on Facebook. Nigeria Info PH is the handle, or you can go on Twitter, or rather now called X, and let's continue the conversation there. It's also Nigeria Info PH, and on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. Let's get the conversation started. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, let's see. What messages do I have? All right, this one says, greetings, Canada. Oh, a long read. It's a long read. I'm going to try. President Tinubu's speech revealed a man who understands the Nigerian economy and militating element against our development. The speech captures a lot of economic engineering inputs and drives by the federal government. However, my disappointment was Mr. President's avoidance in mentioning the level of work done at various refineries. We really need these refineries to commence production. Canada, we have had efforts of the federal government to engineer economic transformation and human empowerment and development in the country. My major pain is that many state governors will still dwell on frivolous projects and obvious negligence of major economic drive along the efforts of the federal government. This message is really long. I would continue your message after the commercial break, so please don't be angry. I've got a commercial break coming up in about 8 seconds now. right. My headlines just got me ticklish, so to say. Can I use that word? I'm just giggling all over the place. Welcome. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info with Kala Dakoru Batabo, and I'm excited. Unlike yesterday I was really. I should say once again that the Port Harcourt Aba Expressway should be fixed. Really, it was some torture traveling through that road. Anyways, going back to the message I was reading, so continuation, it said agriculture, commerce, industry and electricity are in the concurrent legislative functions of government as stipulated in the 1999 constitution as amended. I wish state governors, particularly governors of the South, will also engage in agriculture and support SMEs, build modular refineries too. Poverty and economic hardship will be reduced at the local level. I pray Nigeria succeeds under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Emi Fiaga with that one. All right, so let's go to the phone line 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. 0817-923-0002. First number 0817-923-0003. Remember, your messages can go to the number 0809-0306-416, and we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, active on X, formerly known as Twitter. Frank from D-Line, good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, Canada.
All right, welcome. Let
me first of all congratulate my former governor as the minister of the evening.
But it's not part of my conversation, so move on, please.
I know you have. I want to dwell on the question you asked now.
What question is that?
Yes, you say he's a campaign. One of the campaign G5. They are all members of the campaign.
As reported by the Punch. As reported by the Punch. Yes. It's a member.
Yes. They are still a PDP member now. The disagreement it was about the presidential election, and the presidential election has come and gone. So none of them have ever resigned. So Constitution did not say if the PDP, APC win election, you should not go there to serve as a minister. So guys, our constitution never say so. So they have every right to accept or be appointed or accept. So for now, our former governor is still a PDP member, and he can still go there and campaign for Governor Doye Giri.
But he has an appointment from the APC-led government at the federal level. I'm trying to understand that.
They are appointed from APC level. That one is it's not all about party again now. Now it's about Nigeria. Tinubu is the president of Nigeria.
Okay.
It's not the president of APC alone.
All right.
Even as they confirmed just yesterday as a minister designate. It will be a minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria, not a minister of APC. So we should not mix the two things.
All right, thank you, Frank. I've got to move on. I've got Clinton. Clinton, greetings to you. Welcome. Happy New Month.
Yeah. Happy New Month, Canada. You're looking good, by the way.
Thank you. I'm recovered. I felt like. Anyways, let's move on. Clinton. Let's talk.
All right. 1 trillion naira saved in 2 months. Wonderful. I actually commend this administration, and I listened to the president read out some policies yesterday on a short-term basis. But however, something was missing. I think a lot of Nigerians were expecting the president to say something about the moribund refineries.
All right.
And if that was added to his presentation, I think it would have been very perfect. But looking at what he said, the investment in the agriculture, 3,020 buses, minimum wage, grants and loans for nano and micro businesses. I think these are wonderful points raised. But I think with this money saved, this huge amount of money saved, should be channeled into at least 1 or 2 of our refineries. Because if our refineries work now, Nigerians will feel the impact of his government. Even though you raise the minimum wage 10 times, the cost of commodities will still go up. So I think they should do well to fix one refinery for us. Thank you very much. And the PDP, they are not serious people. Thank you very much.
All right, I've got Frank. Sorry, Frank from my Padre. Sorry there, but I've got Richard. Richard is calling me from Iba. Richard, greetings. Welcome on the show.
Greetings to you, Canada.
Yeah, welcome. Let's talk.
Thank you. I want to really react to the speech which the president made yesterday. But all those issues he raised, he was going to address. They appear very, very well. There is no doubt about it. But the area the speech fell short for the area in the area of power supply and then the revamping of our moribund refinery.
Okay.
Remember when Buhari was in power, what he did was to stop the importation of foreign rice in order to push local production.
All right.
I was thinking that Tinubu should have sold that line, revamping our refineries in order to stop the importation of petrol. Because the main issue surrounding the hardship Nigerians are facing now is because of the increase in the price of petrol.
All right.
So it should have been ideal for him to address that area. The trillions of naira that saved from the removal of subsidy should have been invested. Let's say part of it should have been invested in revamping all our money refineries. So that when we begin to produce local, it is going to reduce the price of petrol and all that. So that the speech he gave was really short when he did not address this major area.
All right then. Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you very much for your time. I've got Muriel. Muriel is calling from Okrika. Muriel, greetings to you. What's on your mind?
Thank you. Canada, good evening. Is your Okrika woman.
All right, welcome.
You see, Canada, in as much as I'm disappointed that I didn't see the urgency in the president's speech nor his body language about fixing our refineries. But let me just dwell on one. The 50,000 that is scheduled to be given to the SMEs. Canada, you see, I always call these things the Greek and their gifts. When they decided to give bursary to, decided to give loans to students, all of a sudden they increased the cost of education. It increased astronomically. Then now they want to give money to SMEs. I hope they will not be increasing their tax. Honestly, and this other We'll call back.
All right, so go through the list again, and when you remember you to call back. Tony from Ada Judge. Tony, greetings. Welcome.
Okay, good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Okay, my concern and my question is, the president said we have spent 1 trillion.
Yeah, we have.
Where do you save it from? Because from the initial time he came in, subsidy was not even budgeted at all.
So this is it. This is Tony. This is it.
So
yeah.
where did we save this one?
Tony. I want to explain. So this is it. So the money that would have been spent is what is now seen as saved, and the monies that would have been spent for subsidy. I don't know if I'm explaining it well for you. So monies are there that would have been used to pay for subsidy, but they are no longer used for subsidy. And by the way, all through the times that the federal government was paying for subsidy, the NNPC, now NNPCL, was not remitting to the federal government. Now they can remit because all of that cumbersome subsidy thingy is no longer there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. It sounds better to me because my concern is just when something is a budget is not a physical cash. We all know. So once it's not budgeted at all, so there's no reason to. So I think okay, that's okay for me.
All right then. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time, Daniel from Transamari. Daniel, greetings to you. Welcome on the show.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, Daniel, good evening.
Presidential speech. Anti-theoretical speech, if you ask me.
Okay. Your opinion, I guess.
My opinion, yes.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, we know our problem, and if the president say he do not know our problem, how to solve it, then why is he a president? The problem is that you are not refining. It's simple. The reason why you are importing fuel, looking for forex, is because you don't have a refinery in your country.
Okay.
It's not because you don't have the raw material, just because you're not refining.
Okay.
Simple.
Okay.
And if you come and rule all these economic policies, donating money, donating this and that, at a 9% interest rate and all these things, these are nonsense if you ask me. Because the reason why you say you have 1 billion is because I will use my money to go and buy fuel for 600 and thereabout. Other people are buying it for that price.
Okay.
That is why you have 1 trillion. If, because he said, I will not take this responsibility anymore. The masses should go and take this responsibility. Why is the federal government don't want to stop the importation of food in this country? Is that cabals that are behind it? Are we sure that the people in government are not the people importing this fuel? Why is the federal government of Nigeria, none of these presidents want to stop this business of importation? And each time they are in that Asoro, they were blind ear towards that angle. Because they will tell you subsidy, but remove, make sure refinery work. They don't want to do it.
Right.
Is it hard? Is it me Daniel will come and do it? They would have tell us, okay, so time refinery will work. This is the level of the work. Our policy modern refinery, give me time. Give me 6 months. Buy fuel for 1,000. Refinery will work. I don't have a problem.
But you know,
6 months, this whole thing will end. You come and tell me you're giving this thing. Tell me.
Daniel.
I'm with you.
So you know how he said, yet again, I'm not the spokesperson. I'm not, is he Ngali? That's his name now. I'm not him. But this is what it is here. So he said that the monies that have been realized, that have been recovered as a result of the subsidy removal, will now go into the building of infrastructure. And maybe the refinery is amongst the infrastructure that will be built. I don't know if you agree with me on that one.
Okay, Canada. The money that is being realized we go to. Why did they realize this money? Because you and I is buying for 600 and something naira.
Okay.
That is why they realize this money.
Okay.
Okay, let me ask you. Do the mathematics with me. You have a job that they are paying you 500,000. You're buying fuel for 600 and something naira. And you have a job that are paying you 300,000. You're buying fuel for 100 and. Which one will you prefer? Government should pay whatever something they are paying. Let me buy my fuel for 190 something. I have my head. Who headed in my house?
All right, thank you, Daniel. Daniel, I've got to go. Thank you very much. I've got Zion from GRA. Zion, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. Yeah, welcome.
I told you this thing yesterday that the president, nothing will come out. Nothing come out.
So nothing come out like this now, yeah?
Nothing come out now.
Okay.
People. You have realized 1 trillion naira. And the only thing you want to do with that money is to build infrastructure. And we don't know what kind of infrastructure. That alone has failed and defeated the purpose of removing the fuel subsidy. When you would have won my conscience and challenged me in any platform, any forum, it is said that 1 trillion naira immediately Port Harcourt refinery will start operating. Because we are sending men down there to go fix it. With this 1 trillion naira have achieved in 2 months. The other spending is irrelevant. Because what is causing the problem is the removal of the subsidy, right?
Yeah.
Now that you have gotten the money to fix one of the ends of the issue, you are not doing it. You want to go do another thing with the money. You want to go share money as in spray. You're looking at me, number 1, right? Now my phone.
All right.
Someone a flag. No, now.
All right.
I challenged even the last time. I challenged the Muhammad Buhari's administration that went on the money spray. Mention one person that benefited from the money market, the marketing money. This one, that one, they were sharing that today is paying tax to the federal government. Mention one.
But you see, this is not money spraying like you've put it. It's a loan, some kind. I've got Elumba from Artillery. Elumba, sorry for keeping you waiting.
I greet you, my brother.
Welcome.
What I want to talk about is
this presidential speech yesterday. Do you know that this man that he will give us transport? We have free transport we will be using. Or low cost transport.
Low cost, he didn't say free. He said the buses will be railed out on the road.
Let me analyze it this way. So as I have motor now, I'll park my motor. I will not be using it again. Because since when this happen, except we are getting important to the fact that use it.
I mean, but that's what's attainable.
To come and carry me.
Elomba,
we do the same thing.
Elomba, listen. That's what is attainable in other countries, like in the UK. You hardly see people drive. In Italy, in most parts of Europe, you hardly see people drive because the cost of petrol is quite expensive.
Let me analyze it this way.
Okay, I'm listening.
Do you see the time when they bring coronavirus boss from that place here? Where is them now? It cannot be found. Do you remember the time when Buhari said you want to lift to 100 million Nigeria out of poverty? How many of them did he lift? He end up putting over 200 million people inside poverty. My brother, these people are not leaders. Honestly, they are not leaders.
All right then.
And I don't know what they do, what they are doing there.
All right then. Thank you very much. I've got to go, Elomba. I've got Daniel from Agri Road. Another Daniel calling. Daniel, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah, greetings.
I greet you.
Happy New Month to you. Welcome.
The government removing subsidy on fuel. Although I have never bought a car before, I've never bought a generator before, so I have never enjoyed those subsidies they have been paying on people.
Okay.
Now they have removed it. I'm not suffering from it. These people have turned back to us to collect this money in triple times, because I know in December it will be worse. So if the president wants to help us, because what I'm buying in the public in the market is very expensive, my transport to somewhere is very expensive and suffering. So the best thing he can do as the president is to build this humanitarian forum for us.
All right then.
So that we can escape this imported fuel. Let those people go and look for other jobs. They have stopped collecting from the government. Now the government has stopped them. They have come to the masses, collecting from us again.
All right.
So we are suffering. The president must do something for this to ban
All right. Thank you very much. I've got Braid and is calling from Buguma in Asari Toro local government area. Welcome, Braid. Let's see.
Greetings to Mr. Batubo.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, let's meet up for the presidential speech.
All right, welcome.
Yeah, Canada, if you look at the speech, our president has nothing to offer Nigeria. In the circumstances he puts Nigeria, people expect him to tell them how our refineries are going to work. People expect him to tell the governors how to build modern refinery. We expect him to tell us how we are going to have a steady power supply. We're talking about agriculture without security. I think it's a failure. For me, our president does not have anything to offer this country. Let him immediately and let him resign.
All right. Thank you very much, Braid. I've got to move on now. Your line wasn't even very clear. This one is from Emi Fiaga again. He said, please inform some of your callers that by the law of the land, President Tinubu lacks constitutional powers to retain and spend the savings from the petrol subsidy removal at the federal level. To proceed from the savings are paid into the consolidated account and shared between the three tiers of government. But I mean, this is what I guess some people are saying. Yes, when the monies are shared, some of it goes to the federal level, right? So yeah, they can use the portion and ensure that they make the refineries working. That's what some people are arguing. I don't think they're arguing otherwise. They're saying when it comes to your share, spend it wisely, and that's all they're saying. Remember, the federal government will get the lion's share. So yeah, that's what they're asking. But let's read some other messages. This one says, "Good day, Mr. Kalada. Tinubu talking about food in circulation. He should first of all protect farmers from bandits and herdsmen. Lastly, let him use the 1 trillion naira saved from subsidy to build refinery." Thank you, Anna. Okay, I guess that's what MFIAGA was trying to say. Okay, but you should use this portion of the 1 trillion naira to repair refinery. That's how I'm going to explain it. So it says nominating absentees without considering their body language is an act of leadership deficiency. Have we in a banana republic? The Man Integrity Group G5 had told you they still are members of the PDP but has chosen to remain adamant. Why take Panadol for others' headache? I think what PDP would have done was to form a reconciliatory committee first than to pass through the back door to lure national figures like the G5 to such ridiculous invitation. Should they have honored it? Nobody knows if they have honored it or not. But he said, I don't think how that would hold water. Calvin Yobo Frank in Port Harcourt. All right, if you say so. This one says in the president's speech, there was no talk of the one thing that will solve most of these problems, occasioning the palliatives, which is the oil refinery. Our existing refineries have to be functional. That should be the number one priority. What is old in the Dangote refinery? As for Bayelsa Campaign Council and G5 members, to former Governor Wike will be a minister in Tinubu's government and then campaign for PDP in Bayelsa. It is a shame how we play politics in Nigeria. This is a result of desperation on the part of the president and his to-be minister, Flat Earth from Port Harcourt. Good afternoon, Kalada. I thought PDP said Wike has no capacity and integrity. Why include him on their list? Wike is yet to teach them a lesson. Great Sylvester. All right, let's see this one. He said the following in addition to the one you mentioned. He will send over 1,000 buses to major transport companies, CNG. Yeah, thank you very much for that one. He promised to send buses to campuses. I mentioned that one already. And then you said, he also said he will remove restriction on students' loan. I forgot to mention that one. Thank you very much, Benin Chief. Wonderful additions to what I tried to explain. Thank you very much. This one says on the President's national address, the planned palliative in any way would not work except making a definite action to fixing the refineries and giving grants to the already existing modular refineries. Unfortunately, he was mute on the salient issue, that is the refinery. I mean, for Ernest Port Harcourt. I've got a lot of messages, really. I really got a lot of messages. I've not even gone to Facebook. The bitter truth is NLC will not embark on a strike because they have compromised a lot. If not, strike is the only language Nigerian government understands. Ezekiel Isaiah with that one. And this one says, let Ahmed Tinubu use all the monies to build modular refineries or revamp our refineries instead of sending money to his loyalists via all this palliative saga. Good afternoon, Kalada. Amos from Ilimi. Okay. As I says, we make too much noise. President Tinubu just gave old speech. Good morning. Okay, I don't think this is from Mr. Good morning, bro. So I guess for the morning show. So it says, good afternoon, Canada. Mr. President failed to address the refineries, thereby making all his speech wordless. Judge Benedict Nibe. Okay, I think I should go to Facebook now. A lot of messages there as well. This one says, Ogu Ojone Justice. Tinubu should tell us when refineries will start working. Baba Saveti Jose. The country has already collapsed. Okay, no, I'm not continuing with that. Legit man in Joko. Nothing come out with the speech at all. And let me just laugh at those that collected 20,000 naira or they're about, okay, I don't get, or they're about for some months. And vote against their conscience. Also wish to ask them how market. My people, be wise and shine your eyes. Advice, no because. Remy Wanko says the president has no plan for this nation, just reading script, no direct plan. Now, wow. Lebari Akikwe says the beauty of politics is that the more you look, the less you see. G5. Oluwa Lucky, it says let's see. Emodi Chinedu Frank says, I listened to his speech. He did not in any way mention the revival of our refineries, which is the main reason for the suffering. He left the cause of the sickness and is busy treating symptoms. Thank God ability at Twigbu says, when Mr. President not prepared enough to understand what millions of Nigerians are passing through before he contested for the presidential elections, the nationwide broadcast is a wasteful broadcast day, he says. All right, Okoye Namdi says Tinubu will keep making empty promises. A lot of messages. Musa Julius, okay. If Tinubu has saved, 1 trillion as he claimed. Let him, what are you saying? Then let him tell the rest of Nigerians how much we should contribute so we can fix, even if it's one refinery. It will never be well with INEC boss. And so Ben, I thought Tinubu had solutions to the problems of Nigeria. We covered what? It indirectly forced us to be paying and contributing over 400 naira to the country's fund through fuel price. Is this preparation he boasted about? Okay, I've got commercial break coming up in a jiffy in about 2 minutes. So I don't know, I read some more messages. Let's see this one. This one says, good afternoon, Kalada. This is Dai will always say in Nigeria, every other person seems to know the right thing to do except those whose responsibility is to know. This APC government prefer to buy a carton of paracetamol to malaria patient than some tablet of Lomaterm could cure. Pardon me for the brand. Nigerian government is overtaking the Hollywood industry. I don't know what to say again. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much as well. Let's see. Maria from Africa. Will the infrastructure fund take care of only federal roads and projects? Can the state governments use it for state projects? Mira from Africa. Yeah, that's the idea. So peculiar infrastructure deficits will be fixed according to the states. According to the states. I think this is the last message I'm going to read. It says, how much does it cost to have a modular refinery in Nigeria? The cost of building a modular refinery in Nigeria can vary depending on several factors such as the size of the refinery, location, and scope of the project. However, according to reports, the cost of building a modular refinery in Nigeria can range from $10 million to $500 million or more, depending on the size and complexity of the project. This is from Quora. However, building a 60,000 barrels per day modular refinery is about $8 million plus dollars. And that will have a turbine attached to it. This could be done in at least 2 for the 6 geopolitical zone of the country with the $800 million they're borrowing. That's my take. All right, thank you very much for all the other messages that I've not read. When we come back from the break or after the business news, I will read some of them. But for now, we've got another commercial break coming up, and so I've got to step on the brakes. Just stay tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Wow, what's that? It's not a smell.
This one says presidential speech. Why are we only talking of the president when other governors have rolled out palliatives for people they govern? Pay rise and promotion of workers, employment, payment of gratuity, and other life-touching measures. Why hasn't Governor Fubara addressed Rivers people and Rivers NLC? Just kept quiet. Victor from Igbima. Greetings, Nigerian Info Crew. President should inform Nigerians how he's going to rejuvenate our moribund refineries. I am Adama Gabriel from Aba. All right. This one says, good afternoon, Kalada. The president said he will give 1 billion naira to 75 companies, and they are to pay back in 60 months now. Yeah, 60 months. In which economy it is not feasible for loan meant to grow, industry to pay back with a short-term administration is a scam. Brown, I don't think it's 16 to 18 months. This one says, if fixing our refinery is a crime in Nigeria because of their selfish interests, please they should fix electricity. We should forget about the refinery and fix electricity. Mali is texting. Alright, this one says, good day, presenter. The presidential speech is normal. All these reeled out promises of billions of naira by President Tinubu to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal needs re-evaluation. Let the president forget about these lofty promises. They are mere jamboree. The presidency should rather use the billions of naira to refurbish the abandoned Nigerian refineries and provide electricity for the people. Nigerians are fast dying under these strangulations called palliative policies. Elder Joel Adolphus from Degima. All right, it's time for the business news. I'll be right back. Just stay tuned.